Yo, what's up, chefs? My name is Vinny. I'm a former Mythic Raider who has returned to WoW this expansion, and this is going to be episode 1 of my Zero to Keystone Hero Challenge. Additionally, to spice things up a little bit, I'll be punishing myself for making critical mistakes. I'll also be showing the ups and the downs.
Oh, scary! Oh, shiver my timbers!
Shut up, man!
Of the entire process, while also providing some helpful tips along the way. So, without further ado, let's hop into it.
And now you learn the true lesson of the void.
Alrighty, getting things started with our first dungeon. Starting things off easy with a +2 necrotic wake. Should be very simple. But wanted to make sure we get a wide skew of the different difficulties of dungeons. Let's get our big burst off here. Get that interrupt. Alright, pretty small first pull, but no big deal. Hopefully he pulls more than this. Okay, nice. This looks like a good pull. Alright, here we're gonna pop pretty much everything. Massively out DPSing this dungeon, but no big deal. Sure, the group's gonna appreciate the high DPS. Let's focus Void Emissary, because that's the weekly affix. Okay. Nice and easy. We have everything up once again, which is nice. Make sure we avoid the Heaving Wretch. Leave down the worms. I'll actually go ahead and Blessing of Sacrifice the next Heaving Wretch if it's not on me. Which obviously is not necessary for this level of key, but in the future it will actually be a pretty good play, I think. So there I just Blessing of Sacrifice the Rogue because he was targeted with Heaving Wretch, and then I used one of my defensives, Divine Protection, at the same time.
Embrace it.
Okay. Let's make sure we kill the Emissary real quick. I'm thinking we don't need this for percent. I'm almost positive, but we will get it anyways. Let's get that interrupt so we can group up the mobs. Pop some defensives to help out our healer. Okay. Easy goes it. This is a pretty spicy pull at higher keys, so make sure we take it serious, even though it's a +2. We have no purge for the big guy, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. This guy, he puts a little buff on himself every once in a while and makes him immune to physical damage, which for our group is certainly kind of a big deal. We do a lot of physical damage in this group.
Embrace who you truly are.
Watch your step.
I'm gonna go ahead and mark the one that I'm targeting. Let everyone, hopefully let everyone know that I'll get this interrupt. Oh, never mind, I'll get the next one. I'd say when in doubt in pugged Mythic Plus groups, you can wait to see if somebody in your group's gonna get interrupts first, and then you can use your interrupt after that. So kind of like hold your interrupt, so to speak. I'll get that interrupt. We let a frostball volley go through, but it's okay. Only +2. No big deal. I'm gonna interrupt this mage so we can stack it.
Embrace who you truly
And we're doing damage. I'll just start the RP for the next boss. Help our time. Realistically, I probably should have sent some cooldowns on that mini boss, but it is what it is. I'll take spear. I'm just gonna spear this boss since they don't stack anymore. No point in saving all the spears for last or third boss anymore. Okay, not the cleanest rotation for me, but not the worst either. We didn't really have any good grouping of the mobs, but that is what it is. Can't really expect much better in a low-level pug group. Definitely just gonna burn the boss here, ignore the mobs. Hopefully we still have one spear for third boss, but we'll see. Oh my. This is a pull. I will give sacrifice to my tank and pray. Get that interrupt. Okay, yeah, the only problem with that pull, I mean, I like it, but he shouldn't have pulled this first group and then, like, waited 10 seconds, because I imagine it wasn't just me that sent our cooldowns on that pack, and then no one had cooldowns for, like, the big pack that he pulled right after.
Embrace who you truly are.
I could definitely have better stops this dungeon. I think my interrupts have been pretty good, but I haven't really used any particularly well-timed Hammer of Justice or Blinding Lights. Yeah, I got most interrupts. Yeah, forget the rogue is trying to call somebody out for having bad interrupts and a +2. Alright, I'm gonna bop whoever gets fixated so they don't have to run like a big brain. Okay, but he's still running, even though he's bopped. Let's help top everyone. Oh wait, I should not have used my execution sentence here. That was a big mistake. Brain completely turned off. Alright. Pull the boss down.
Embrace
My cooldowns are super decent, but we're just gonna have to live with it. B-res. I'm just gonna B-res our other guy too. Why not?
Watch your feet.
Sacrifice on the tank. Make sure I get the hook on the boss.
Watch your feet.
Not particularly clean, but we got it down. Focus the emissary. Emissary got touch of death. Take that. Get our pally with a little freedom. I think our healer actually got the cleanse before I did, but it's all good. We definitely overcapped on some holy power there because I was paying attention to the swirlies, but it's what it is. Alright. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, usually, or it's pretty common for teams to not have enough %, but we are good. First dungeon completed. Solid plus 180. Alrighty, so we got Necrotic Wake. Just come over here to damage done section. Obviously, all of our actual parses are going to be terrible because it's a +2. People are doing, +14s, +15s, so not really any point in looking at these numbers. But here we have the key percentage, like a parse, which is relevant to +2 keys. You can see we got a 94, which is definitely very solid. Our healer actually had a 97. He's wilding out as the Fistweaver monk, or Mistweaver, but he's Fistweaving. And we also had really good healing, which means I guess we were kind of providing a little bit of extra support to the group whenever possible. So sounds about right. Solid +2 to start it off. Alrighty, hopping into our second dungeon. This one is also going to be a +2. Unfortunately, I did want to move up pretty quickly to like +4s and beyond, but I also feel like I should probably level up my own key, so that is why we are doing a +2 again, to make sure we actually get our own key. Moving up pretty quick here. Okay, big pull coming, so we're gonna do all of our damage here. Get that kick in the meantime. Try and dodge swirlies.
Oh, scary! shiver my timbers.
Shut up, man!
Our tank is threatening to leave because someone accidentally pulled. Don't think it was me, but it's a +2 and he's that upset. I just want to argue with him, but it's quite insane to be threatening to leave as the tank in a +2 because someone accidentally pulled. That is like some power tripping behavior. This is the type of person you do not want to be a cop IRL. You have some major issues. Alright, but let's focus up. No point in worrying about it. It's only going to make us play worse if we worry about it too much. Don't focus on our own game. Try and stack these rock spikes up nice and close to one another. Okay, easy peasy. Super solid damage so far. Oh my goodness, what did I get? I got meleeed 3 times. That's sick. Yeah, especially when you die, it's always important to figure out exactly why you died. I mean, I know I got meleeed 3 times, but as a player, it's very important to determine whether or not there was anything you could have done. I can even go back and look at the recording, see if I had any defensives. Actually, defensives wouldn't really matter because it felt like a one-shot, but if it wasn't actually a one-shot, then, defensives actually could have made a difference. Put a stop on this mob, make it a little bit easier. Hopefully everyone knows how this boss fight works. Okay, tank seems to have an idea of where he wants to pull it, which is good. Hopefully he rotates it back and forth from one side wall to the other. At least that's what I do when I tank it. On this dragon in particular, it's very important that you LOS the Umbral Wind, because the little voidlings that you kill give you a stacking debuff that increases the amount of shadow damage you take. And if you combine that with getting hit by the Umbral Wind, it is going to hurt quite a bit. Now, I'll actually show you guys some nice little tech for this boss as we get into the next phase. Or I'll do it early if it doesn't seem like we're gonna get to the phase. But if you are a class with an immunity, then once there's a ton of tentacles on the ground, you can really make things easier by popping your immunity and just clearing the tentacles. Okay, here, bubble. Clear a bunch of the tentacles. Probably would have been better off clearing them in a slightly different area, but it's okay. It's better than nothing, right? There we go. Nice little 3 chest on the +2 Grimbatol. should be another plus 180. Where's the... Oh, wait. Hold on, we don't have enough percent, actually. Well done, Mr. Tank. Well done, Mr. Tank. Alright, there we go. Still 3-chested it, though. No big deal. Alrighty, and it looks like, according to the sim, Mark of Cardros is actually going to be quite a bit better on AoE. So like I said, you can't really trust Blood Mallet fully. I'm not sure why. Blood Mallet is making the assumption that on a 5-target fight, you're going to get a lot more value out of these two. With that being said, we'll go ahead and try Mark of Cardros, and I'll maybe run like a 1-minute DPS check, you know, not in the recording, and just see for myself, but think we're probably going to go with this. Yo, we're moving up in the world onto a +5 Dawnbreaker at this point. Obviously, should still be pretty simple. You know, I don't think we're going to have any major issues.
Are you sure about that?
But I would say this is probably the first dungeon where I could anticipate potentially having a punishment end up being a part of the post-dungeon procedures. I don't think it'll happen, but we will see. I am logging. I know I forgot to log the last dungeon, although I definitely don't believe that, you know, my DPS last dungeon would have quantified as a lower than purple parse, to be honest. So I don't think we have any issues with that. But yeah, let's get into it. We got to focus up. Like I said, this is a +5, so it's a big step up from the +2s. I have done higher level keys already this expansion, quite a bit higher. But with that being said, I haven't gotten Keystone Hero yet, so, you know, still going to be a bit of a challenge, and you never know when you're pugging your group, of course. In addition to that, we will actually meet the minimum requirement that was set forth in the rules of doing at least 3 dungeons, but no more than... I just had to sacrifice our tank. I got a little scared. We will meet the minimum threshold of doing at least 3 dungeons within the +2 to +7 range, assuming this dungeon gets completed, that is. And after that, I think starting with the beginning of next episode, we're actually just going to go straight up to +7s at that point. I don't think I'm going to do any more than 3 dungeons within the +2 to +7 range. Obviously, at no point am I going to try and intentionally have myself have to do punishments, but I do want to keep things kind of on the edge, so to speak, whenever possible, so that way there is some pressure and tension to actually play well to avoid those punishments. And, you know, at least make it possible. Like, I don't think I'm really going to have any punishments be possible if I just spam +4s, get a million crests, and wait to move up until I've, you know, upgraded my gear as much as physically possible. So, starting with next episode, we're going to hop into some +7s, and we will see how things go there. Oh, looks like we're going left boat first. Get that web bolt interrupt. Also, feel free to let me know, guys. You know, like I said, I've only done +2s and +5s this episode, so I think it's pretty reasonable that I didn't run into any punishments. But definitely feel free to let me know if you guys think I need to add additional criteria that could quantify or qualify for getting a punishment, such as, you know, just any death, whether it's my fault or not, that should be a punishment. I think I could get behind that in some regards. You know, maybe if it's like super egregious things, I don't know if I would want to call it. But I'll see what you guys say, and then we'll go from there. Because at the end of the day, I am making the content for you guys, so definitely feel free. Like I said, let me know in the comments if you want different types of punishments or different reasons for punishments to be necessary. And you know, the most upvoted comments, undoubtedly, I'll make sure to keep those in mind. Or realistically, if it's a really upvoted comment, it'll almost undoubtedly just get added, you know, full stop. So yeah, definitely feel free to let me know. Get that interrupt real quick. I have straight up aggro of something, and I don't like it because it's really hurting. I got aggro like half the pack. Not a huge fan of that. You always want to look out and see if your healer forgot to cleanse. I think it's a curse. You want to make sure your healer actually cleansed the person with the curse before you take off. Otherwise, you will definitely die in the air. Almost undoubtedly. Goodness, I almost freaking logged out of my Streamlabs. That would have been a disaster. How did my divine toll? It almost seemed like, oh god. Okay, I got the B-res. Can we save it? No, we cannot. Oh no, that's a disaster. Uh-oh. Hold up, fellas. Hold up. Let's lock in, boys. Let's lock in. No shot, these two are still alive. It's crazy, actually. Okay, dodge swirlies. Dodge beam. We lost our food buff, which kind of sucks. Dodge swirlies. It's priority number 1. Don't want to get a punishment. No punishments and a +5, man. Like, that would actually be kind of cringe. I won't even lie. We got this boy still. Honestly, this is making me think that adding additional criteria for punishments might not be a good idea just because of the way this pug is struggling on a +5. As I'm sure you guys saw in the recording whenever I invited him. Oh my goodness. Yo, what is our tank doing? Bro, get the... What? No, okay, our tank is actually a little bit of a slight griefer there, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what he just did, but he like landed on the singular mob and like baited the group into landing on the mini boss like normal humans, and then we're just tanking the mini boss. That was kind of whammo. I've never seen that. Got horrible cooldown timings here, but we're just gonna have to make do. And yeah, I mean, these numbers are looking a little sketch. Hopefully I don't sound too elitist, but you know, when my ass is on the line, or my leg hair, or whatever you want to say, you know, if IRL punishments are on the line, then I will probably be a little snarky about poor performance. What is this pack, by the way? Like, this is never in the history of me doing this dungeon have I seen a tank, or have I decided to land here in the middle of the road for this 2 mob pack. Like, what are we doing? Maybe he's cooking now. Like, maybe I don't know. Maybe he's cooking. Maybe our healer's lacking. I mean, our healer does... Let's see. I mean, our healer seems like he's doing okay. Okay, well, this is absurd. Who did this? I know this was not me.
Embrace who you truly are.
Let's get the interrupt to try and help group them up. I'm almost a little bit nervous about my parse as well. Oh my goodness, I just disabled combat log for half a second. I hope that did not. Oh goodness, I hope that didn't mess up the log. If it did, then since this is a +5 and actually a little bit more competitive than a +2, I will like manually verify with the rankings that I would not have parsed a green or below, but we'll see when we get there. Really, the only reason I even checked it too is because when I zoned into Dawnbreaker, I DC'd 3 times in a row. Like, I would DC, I would load the game back up, instantly crash. So for a second there, I thought maybe I forgot. Oh my goodness, I somehow got hit by Dark Orb. What the hell? But for a second there, I thought maybe I forgot to actually start my combat log, which I guess there's actually no point in even checking, because if I forgot to start it, then it would have been cooked anyways. Can't start them like midway through. But hopefully that didn't mess up my log. Be very sad if it did. I'm also just now realizing that my macros didn't update. I've still got frickin' my oh my goodness, my Wake of Ashes didn't even go off. What is going on? Like, my buttons are all cooked. Okay. Alrighty. We are on to the last phase. If we wipe for whatever reason, I think we will actually deplete this key, which would be crazy to deplete a +5 IMO.
Target you. Run out.
You know, I'm actually thinking about it now. Maybe I do want my trinket. I probably just need to take my trinket off of macro altogether, because I actually want my trinket to be active whenever I use Hammer of Light. But I only want to use it in the rotations where I'm also going to use Divine Toll. Like, I don't want to use it on a Hammer of Light or whatever it's called. The secondary effect of Wake of Ashes. I don't want to use it on that unless I also plan to use Divine Toll.
Run out.
Okay, sweet. We timed it. Alright, we'll take that. We'll take that. Now, we basically just need to verify and double check if our log actually worked, which we're going to pray that it did. Otherwise, like I said, I will manually check it. Just gonna up the brightness on my extra light real quick, because I'm looking a little dark. Alright, let's boot Scoot and Boogie on out of here. Let's check that log. Alrighty guys, bad news. It looks like my mistake of / combat logging in the middle of the dungeon did in fact brick the log. For those of you that consistently log dungeons, that's probably no surprise to you. Definitely an oversight on my part. Really just wasn't thinking in the moment. You know, second guessed myself as to whether or not I started the log at the beginning of the dungeon, because I was having a disconnect issue whenever I entered Dawnbreaker. Actually, it wasn't just me, it was multiple members of my group. It was definitely something client side related. But regardless, at the end of the day, I bricked the log. And unlike the +2 Grim Batol, where, you know, there's no question that I was certainly a purple parser above, for this one, it is actually up in the air. Like, I did do some research. I looked at the rankings for the dungeons. I'll try and include some screenshots on screen, but basically the cutoff for a green or a blue is right around 840,000 DPS overall. My details for the Dawnbreaker is coming up at 1 million, but for those of you that log dungeons pretty frequently, you obviously know that what's shown in details is not what gets translated one-to-one to WarcraftLogs, because WarcraftLogs is using your active time. So with that being said, the fact that it is kind of up in the air and it was my mistake, I am going to go ahead and spin the major punishment wheel, and we'll see what we get. Okay, please ice bath. Please ice bath. GG, boys. GG. Alright. Well, y'all are gonna see me in a fucking maid outfit next video. I will just say, as a parting gift, feel free to check the WarcraftLogs rankings for yourself. If you guys want to come in clutch and bail me out, and if enough comments say, you know what, you did 300k more DPS than the second highest DPS in the dungeon, and the tank was like a literal maniac, and there's enough comments that say, we'll cut you some slack on this one, and you can just kick off the next video with some +7s, then y'all are legit. If not, completely understand, and GG, soldiers. I'll catch y'all on the maid outfit. Alright, that's a wrap. And last but not least, take it easy, chefs.
Your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.